Good morning. Welcome inside. Um, Miss Wilson, welcome back.
Thank you, Erlan. Um, Good morning, Mr. Sonson. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us better now?
Yes, good morning. Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Um, so let me say welcome to Super FM Casualty 911. It's always a pleasure to have you here, especially from Substance Abuse Secretariat. I'm really happy that we have that collaborative effort. So I know we're running late, so without further ado, I'll let you introduce yourself and you can go ahead and speak to the our listeners about um, I think it's carnival and taking precautionary measures. Yes.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Wang Sonson, and I'm the Deputy Coordinator at the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat. Um, right now, we are in the festive season, and carnival activities have begun. So, at the Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat, we continue to educate persons about the harms associated with substances, whether licit or illicit substances. And we know that during the carnival season, the consumption of alcohol comes to the forefront. So we just wanted to share a message with our listeners, our populace, that there are some harmful consequences to alcohol consumption and alcohol abuse, and that when consuming alcohol, ensure that you do it responsibly. Um, we know that with the various activities and parties taking place, that persons may engage in alcohol consumption. So we want to encourage persons to not drink and drive. If you know you are going to be drinking, ensure that you have a designated driver with you, someone who will not be consuming alcohol. Because if you don't take those precautions, it can be something that will affect your life in the long run, or the life of another person who may not have been consuming alcohol. Um, Also, an important thing for us is the sale of alcohol to minors. So we want to speak to the vendors out there. In our books, the legal age of consumption is 16 and above, although we may find that to be a bit young. But we want to remind vendors that alcohol affects children, and selling alcohol to children can lead to a number of issues that may affect the children on a cognitive level, because the child at the age below 16 is still developing, and when they consume alcohol, they may have a number of psychological effects on these children. Also, to persons that are already visibly intoxicated, we want to let vendors know that if you see someone has signs of intoxication, it would be best to refuse to serve alcohol to that person, because by continuing to serve alcohol to that person, it can result in that person getting alcohol poisoning, injuring themselves, or even injuring other persons. These are just some of the precautions. Persons also, when ordering a drink, ensure that you see that drink when that drink is being poured, to avoid any other substances being added to your drink. Also, do not leave your drinks unattended, because by leaving it unattended, you don't know what might be placed in there, which may cause greater effects on you. So these are just some of the precautions that we want to leave out there to persons. Alcohol dehydrates you. Ensure that you sip your drinks, and don't just gulp and binge drink. You sip your drinks, and between each drink, try to consume as much water as possible to keep hydrated during the festivities. Yes.
So,
Right.
Mr. Johnson, of course, I will always, I must admit, you very on par with the the message out there, one of the things I would like parents, do not offer your children alcoholic beverages on that day, because most times parents are part of the band and the children out there watching, and they themselves give the children alcoholic beverages. So that's one of the things I think we should be mindful of. Even if you tipsy, even if you whatever, but do not introduce alcohol to your very own children. And that's one of the things we see quite a bit, where parents give the children to taste, or they actually give them a drink. Um, One of the things I must say during the carnival season, if people kind of say my head bad, and when they start drinking, sometimes it's very difficult to listen to their friends or family members that will tell them, okay, cool out, stop drinking. So from the very get go, before you start drinking, you have to think of, like, I'm not going to drink so many drinks for that day, because there will be other days, there will be other activities to consume alcohol. It doesn't make sense that you drink so much for one day that you cannot enjoy the rest of the festivity. Another thing I want to mention in that light is our vendors. We have to be mindful, if you have an alcoholic drink that is quite like a fast seller. For example, your whiskey, for example, that's the in drink, let's say for this carnival season, and that is your fast seller for that thing. Do not substitute. There's a lot of vendors do that sometimes. They substitute other drinks that quite look like it, for these drinks. So I just want to mention a few of these. Do not substitute. For example, if you're drinking Bounty, and Bounty is not the fast drinker, the seller, and whiskey that do not pour Bounty in the whiskey bottle and sell it to people. So people have to be, yes, Ulan, yeah. What you trying to say? Ulan is watching me like, yes, Nolan, it do happen, because not people. Some people don't consume certain drinks because of the effects it have on them. So you have to be mindful to all of these things. And no, Alan, I do not drink quite a bit of alcohol. I cool out because it brings my pressure up. But all I want to say is that too, for those vendors. I know you want to make money, but at the same time, you cannot put people's life at risk. Um, and persons with medical conditions. If you know you have a medical condition, you hypertensive, or you diabetic, or you have other medical condition, you have to be mindful before you start consuming alcohol. Especially during that time where a lot of binge drinking is taking place, and also speak to your doctor before you decide to drink alcohol, and especially if you on certain medication. So these are some of the, to add to what you said, things that we want to say to people out there. It doesn't make sense you stop your medication and then you at ER, emergency. What's the sense of you doing that? It doesn't make sense. So if you know you're on medication, you know you have a special medical condition, and alcohol consumption is, you shouldn't be engaging in alcohol consumption. Be mindful of all of these things. Yeah. So, Mr. Sanson, any closing remark before you go?
Okay. Yes, you said it very good. We just want people to know their limits. If you are going to drink, know your limits. You said something previously about persons drinking and then the friends cannot control them. So persons need to know that if I have two drinks already, and then that third drink will get me over the limit, then I need to stop. If it's one drink, then after that one drink you stop. So just know your limits. Apart from the short-term effects of alcohol, the immediate short-term effects, there are also long-term consequences to our health as well. So I want persons to take that into consideration. Some of these consequences are cancers, certain form of cancers, diabetes, hypertension. So persons need to know these things, and it's a personal decision whether you choose to consume alcohol or not. But when you do, if you do, just be mindful of the harmful effects that the abuse of alcohol may bring about. So employing everyone to have a safe carnival season, and your choices may affect you in the long run. So make sure that all choices that you made are responsible choices. I thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Johnson. Thank you again so very much for putting out the message out there to our revelers and also our community members out there, because even if the focus is because we're in the carnival season, but we see the alcohol abuse throughout our communities every single day, even and even worse on a weekend. It never stops. So I am really happy that you came out and put the message out there. And in the near future, maybe we could have another program where we speak about alcohol abuse even in more detail to our community members, our family members, and our loved ones out there. Again, thank you so very much.
You're
And
welcome.
it's always wonderful having substance abuse with us. Um, do have a wonderful day and do take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So, this message was brought to you by Substance Abuse Council Secretariat, and I know many persons do not know of this unit, but it's also a unit of the Ministry of Health, and I can tell you they have been doing wonders in our schools, our communities, and they bring the message out there, especially to our young people, because I think the focus is let us start with our young people, because our young people are being introduced to alcohol, drugs, and so on, and they are at a very early age to learn, yeah, and they are our future. And it's not only before you think it's young boys, but it's our young girls also. So again, substance abuse is out there, reaching out to the community in every possible way that they can. And parents, we want you to be mindful of the messages out there and lead by example. Because you cannot tell your child, don't drink alcohol, and every weekend you drunk. You understand? So these are the things we really want persons to be mindful of, especially our community members. And we've seen the effects. We've seen the effects on our younger population. You have young children that are sick because of substance abuse and so on. It affects their schooling and so on. So I'm really hoping that in the near future they will come up. Well, of course they will come on the program as long as we invite them to come in and speak about substance abuse, especially alcohol abuse in our community. So, having said that, one of the things I came to speak about today is during the after the storm. Well, one of the things I observed, and I must say it is the all clear was not given, but one of the things I think I find out so disturbing is people out there in the community coming out even when the all clear is not given. I can understand adults trying to help out the situation, but to have your children out there too. And I for one felt that, when these things happen, if you as an adult want to go out there, but let's start helping our children understand the dynamics of certain things in society. After a storm, if the all clear is not given, if you as an adult choose to go out there to see what is happening, do not bring our children with us. What if something happened to you and something happened to the child too? You're putting both of our lives at risk. And we have to be mindful of that. So you as an adult, you take responsibility, but you also have a responsibility for our own. We have a responsibility for our own children. You cannot be out there as well as your child when the all clear is not given. And another thing I want to speak about is, when you go out there, do you have the necessary personal protective gears? A lot of people keep on walking in the water on the road, all that guttering. You do not know what you're walking in. You don't have proper boots. You could get so many infections by just walking in those waters. And it was happening all over the Caribbean. It's not only St. Lucia, but all over the Caribbean. You're putting yourself at risk. You're putting your children at risk. I mean, there are things that you can get electrocuted. Who is to say there is not a live wire in that water? Who is to say that, you cannot get infected with leptospirosis or something in that water? So you have to be mindful of your actions. And I can tell you, watching all the videos throughout the Caribbean, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, you saw it. You saw people's action, and it might not have been the best. And that is one of the things that we want to be mindful of. Um, so I'm saying this to you because I want person to think about the actions. Think about the actions. A storm is coming, a hurricane is coming. You are asked to be prepared.
Mhm.
Be prepared. Do what you have to do for your family and your children. And that is what we want you to do. Do not wait last minute for you to do things. Every time we have a storm or hurricane, it's a new experience for us. But at the same time, we have to be mindful of what we do, how we do it. Because we get enough information out there. It's not something that just came and we were unprepared for it, like the trouble or something.
Mhm.
But we got enough information throughout the week, the coming days. So you could have done what you're supposed to do. You don't have to wait the last minute. And I'm saying that to you. I'm saying that to you is because during that time, what if we had gotten the actual hurricane? Yeah, you all saw the destruction in Grenada. What if we did? Where would we be as a community or as a nation? Yeah. So I'm just saying this because I felt that persons need to be mindful of their actions as parents, as guardians, and so on. Yeah, and your action says a lot. You need to lead by example. All clear is not given, don't go out there. If, for example, you have to go out there, make sure you have your boots. Make sure that you're well clad for out there. Yeah, Roland?
I agree.
I'm sure you saw all the videos and so on. And,
Even someone is asking on Facebook, the cemetery flooded.
yes, and a lot of people were just in it and they didn't have any, should I say, any boots or any protective wear. You understand all that drain water. Imagine that you have
Families holding.
all these communities where at that time you do not know they have sewage problems. A lot of places the septic tank might not be working well. You have in Super, you have that high water table, so you know that's all excreta coming down on you there into the sea, all in the drains, all on the road. Imagine what you're actually walking in. Yeah, you could be walking in dead animals, like a dead animal is just washed away. That must have been there for a few days now, and you in that water. So think of all these things before you decide to go out there and you do not have your protective gears and you do not have what you're supposed to be wearing. Yeah, I know a lot of persons try to save their boat, and I can well understand that because it's a big blow, especially in our fishing industry. And I don't think we expected the water to do so much damage in the super area. Yeah, but at the same time, and what about if you get cuts and bruises? Your skin is exposed. So all of these things you have to be mindful of. Um, so I'm just saying that because I felt, and these things can cause more harm than good. It
Mhm.
doesn't make sense for you to go out there and then you have endless persons at ER and putting the nurses more at work because some of these nurses might have to do a 24-hour shift and so on. Yeah, persons like you saw persons on boats in amidst all that stuff, you're out there on a boat. So are you telling me that someone had to risk their life, a public servant, be it police or be it marine, be it somebody had to risk their life to go out there to save you because you did not listen? What about that person? That person have a family, that person have responsibility, even if that's part of their job. But these are things that can be avoided. So I'm saying these things so persons can listen and adhere to the messages out there. Another thing that was said, message from environmental health, is because of the storm, we have to be mindful of our drinking water, ensure that we continue to boil our water, ensure even, sometimes Wasco sends the water, but it's a little bit cloudy. That is quite expected after a storm. So it's up to you now to treat the water at home. So you can always call the Department of Environmental Health for more information. Also, some persons might have harvest rainwater. You have to be mindful, especially if you have a rodent infestation around your home. You have your drums are not properly covered. This puts you at risk for leptospirosis. So you have to be mindful and just don't say, oh, that's the rainwater and so on. You have to be mindful what you do with that water. So we're asking you to take all these necessary precautions even after the storm. Yeah. So a few announcements from primary care is that we spoke about the PBF, performance-based finance program that is going on in all our facilities. So now it is being offered at all our healthcare facilities in the region, all our health centers. Before it was just Lafayette and Sufre. This program is targeted at hypertensive as well as diabetic persons. If you only diabetic, only hypertensive, or both, this program is targeted for you. Where we spoke about it the last time, you offered a number of lab work, your renal, kidney, liver function, other blood work that will assess your medical condition, especially persons who might have been on the diabetic and hypertensive medication for a number of years. So this really helps cholesterol. This really helps quite a bit for persons in our community because the tests are very expensive and you're getting it free of charge. It's a fasting test where you have to be there for a particular time and we stop for about after 11. So that is what is being offered. You don't have to go very far. So at Lafa Wellness Center, um, you can come in every Wednesday in the morning. Eatons is every first and third Tuesday. So first and third Tuesday, Delset is offering this test every Monday. Magouche is offering it every second and fourth Tuesday. Ponge Jacques is offering it every Friday, and Super Hospital is offering it every Friday. So first of all, you can speak to your nurse. Go in, speak to your nurse, see if you qualified for these tests. Then they will tell you when to come, um, on the days that they're actually offering it. So somebody from St. Jude's lab will actually come and draw the blood. Afterwards, the following week, your results will be at the wellness center where you can see the doctor. Yeah, based on your results. Okay? So that is an ideal opportunity, especially our men. Especially our men, we've seen quite a bit of ladies coming in.
What is Super?
Super is on Friday morning, and Fonjejak is Friday. So if you're from the Soufre community, you can go to Soufre. If you're from Fonjejak community, you can go to Fonjejak. Yeah? And you must make time. Don't tell me your Friday is a busy day. You have to make time because it is your health. And imagine you're getting all these tests for free. So take advantage of that opportunity. Yeah? Okay, Erland, I've been begging Erland and I've been begging the men in our region to come to Super Hospital for men's health clinic every first and third Wednesday of every month. Come in, speak to our doctors, let them guide you. That is the ideal time. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So another message, other not it's because I've been saying it and I'm not seeing because our numbers have been very low for the men's health clinic. So we're hoping that more men can come in and check, especially our younger in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. We're not senior, we're seeing the 60s and older. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be afraid. I don't know why some men are afraid of hospitals and so. You'll be well taken care of. All right. And our nurses and our CHS are very happy when the men come to our wellness centers because they're always seeing the ladies and they're not seeing the men. Even for child health, whatever clinic it is, as long as the men come, they're quite happy. Yeah. So another thing nurse have asked me to speak about is for our children that have not taken all the vaccines. We're asking you to go to your nearest wellness center and speak to the nurse, and they can always arrange that you can come in and bring your child to get the vaccine. If you have any questions, any queries, anything that you are unsure of as it relates to the vaccine, you can come in and speak to our nurses. Yeah? Speak to our nurses, speak to our doctors, and let them guide you. So if you have any doubts as it relates to the vaccine, or you have a busy work schedule, especially those persons that work hotel, that they might not necessarily have the time to bring their child at the stipulated date, the nurse can always guide you on where to go, or they can arrange for a date for you to come in to give the child the vaccine and also the assessment too. The children assessment are very, very critical. This can really guide you as it relates to the child's ability. So don't forget those persons that have not brought in their children for vaccines, feel free to come in at all our wellness centers where you will be guided accordingly. Yeah, Olan?
Very good, very nice.
Very nice. I'm moving to the day that I can see you. So one of the things I realized is that our wellness centers as well as Super Hospital is offering quite a bit of services that persons might not be aware of, like X-ray lab services, podiatry, dermatology, pediatrics, and so on. So one of the things you can always do is when you come to the wellness centers, ask the nurse, an eye clinic, Ask the nurse when are those services going to be available in your wellness center in your region or the nearest one to you. Okay? Feel free to utilize the services that are being offered to you at our wellness centers because many times persons do not know of the services and they tend to seek it elsewhere. But we do have quite a bit of services being offered at our wellness centers and super hospital. We also have dental at super hospital. So again, parents, I am urging you to come in at Sufra Hospital to make appointments for our children because school is closed. So that is the ideal time for their cleaning or the dental checks. Because, when school is open, you do not really have the time. So now that school is closed, come in, bring your children. It's start our children at a very early age that they can get accustomed to the dentist. For those who have their own private dentist or they go to the private practice, all well and good. But for those who cannot afford, start bringing our children to the dentist. Yeah? So even if it's just to get accustomed to the chair, get accustomed to the dentist, and it's a gradual process. We want to see our parents bringing their children to clean their teeth, doing a little dental examination, what is going on with their teeth, is it going the right way, what is happening with their gums, and so on. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm going to see our Sufra parents, our Shozel parents, and our Canris parents taking advantage of the dental services at Sufra Hospital.
True.
Having said that, I know our time is up. I would like to say thank you so very much to all our listeners. Today we did not really have a set topic to speak about. It was for Substance Abuse Council Secretariat to bring out the message. I know we're going to have Carnival in Sufra. When is Carnival in Sufra? And the hot thing is Makaba warm, say ginger ale pizza, shandy.
Yeah, Shandi, we yes, sir.
Yes. So maybe for that carnival, maybe some people should revert to the ginger ale and shandy and no alcohol. All right, that would be the best thing.
True.
And based on Mr. Sonson's message, if you do anything, you have to do it in moderation and you have to be responsible. Yeah? Again, I wish everybody the best for this coming week. Be mindful that we're in the hurricane season. Take heed to all the warnings that are being placed out there. Stay safe and be prepared. All right? Thank you so very much, Ellen. Oh, thank you so very much, Rome. I know we've been having technical difficulties. And again, your expertise is always on point and always, in a timely manner. So again, thank you so very much.
That's right. There was Casualty 911. So till next week, God's willing, take care of yourself and others. Hey, bye for now. Enjoy your Monday. Likewise.